Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. Hope we are doing well. We're just going to wait for, this is 3, but we're just going to give, some few minutes for people that are going to join us. We have people from, different parts of the country and from the world joining us. So let's just take some patience. We'll start shortly. Thank you. Hope we're having a fantastic afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. Hope you can hear me loud and clear. If you can hear me, you can, say something or raise up your hand. Can everybody hear me loud and clear? Hello?
Can hear you, sir.
We can hear you loud and clear.
Awesome, awesome, beautiful. That's great. So it's good to have everybody here. Like I mentioned, we'll just give about 3 minutes. So we'll start by 3:05. But it would be great if you're in a comfortable place. You can turn on your video so that we can see your beautiful faces, so that it doesn't look lonely over here. Because sometimes when it's just one person that's face is here, because I know it's important for you guys to put a face to the organization, and that's what my video is on. So please let us have our videos on so that we can have an interactive session. We're looking at just having about an hour because we know everyone is busy with their weekend. So just an hour, we should be done. Max about 4 o'clock, 4:05, we should be done. So please, let's have our videos on so that is she joining our session too?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Please, let's see faces. Let's see faces, people. It's good to interact so that we don't, pass ourselves and don't know that we joined the session together. let's have our videos on. Yeah, SB, you're gonna hear. We're just waiting for others to join and we'll have introductions. We'll start shortly. So your mic is working perfectly. Yeah, so don't be scared. So we'll start soon. We just want, others to join us so they can also benefit from the session. Hope you can hear me, SB.
Yes, I can hear you. Thank you.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So just, we want to be our brothers' keepers. So our brothers and our sisters' keepers. So we'll start shortly. Welcome if you are just joining us. This session is a Seedbuilder session about you getting to know about SAP. SAP. So we're going to be talking about the SAP course and different modules and, general information about SAP so that, for people that want to have their questions answered and they want, some are curious about it. Of course, why some already know about it is just an informative session. So everyone is carried along. So we're just, waiting for more people to join in. But max in 2 minutes, we are going to start. Again, it's going to be very interactive. I want, us to have our mics muted. And if you want to speak, you can raise up your hand. But if you're in a conducive place, it is great to have your video on so that we can put, a face to your beautiful face. So please, it's good to have your video on so that it can be very interactive. You can also raise up your hands to ask questions along the session as well, so that you can get all the information that you need. I'm excited to be here. This is going to be an amazing session. It's going to be a session where you get a lot of information, to help you learn this skill and transition easily. So we just have a minute, that's 60 seconds for others to join us before we start officially. So we'll just wait for 60 seconds. Thank you very much. All right, so we'll begin and we'll start by introductions. My name is Ola Oluwa, Ola Onishamo, and I'm the Executive Director of the Seedbuilders Innovation Hub here in Nigeria. I'm just going to talk briefly about the hub. What have we done so far, so that everybody gets to know about the organization. Okay, for the Seedbuilders Innovation Hub, we've been established since 2019, and it is a digital skills platform. So we train on different digital skills, just like the one you are in for the moment. We're an ICT service provider, and also we support local technology projects and startups in Nigeria. But it would be great to also get to know people who are on this call. So please, let's just introduce ourselves by talking. Just let us know what is your name and what you do, so that we can go on with the session, please. So who is going first? Your name, what you do, and what you want to get out from this session. Who is going first? Aliu Adebayo, Olushola, Oluwatosi, SB.
Okay, I might go first.
Can we just introduce ourselves?
Good afternoon.
Yes, please.
Good afternoon. So I'm Shakira Balogun,
Good afternoon.
and I'm a public servant. What I want to gain from here is insight into SAP and how one can transition to SAP, then the modules on the SAP. Yeah, thank you.
All right, fantastic. So did you register, and what module did you register for?
Actually, I just picked two at random. I think PP, I saw them PP, FICO, I think AB, AP also. I don't really know what they meant, so I just picked at random.
All right, but you registered on our website.
Yes, I did.
Okay. All right, fantastic. Okay, so let's hear from another person. Can you just quickly introduce yourself, what you do, and what you want to get out of this session? Good afternoon.
I'm Aliu Adebayo. I'm an accountant, and what I'm looking forward to in this session is to get enlightened on SAP, and to also be a consultant and to know how the environment works. So, and I filled in for SAP, FICO, HC, and HANA. So those modules was what I shoot for. So, thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Olushola. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi everyone, my name is Olushola. I'm a
Loud and
supply
clear.
chain professional in the renewable energy space. And what I want to gain from here is just a kind of a refresher. Once upon a time, like over 10 years ago, I was actually doing an SAP consulting job, but I think I left for other things, and I think it's just high time I brush up my skill again in material management. Yeah, hence why I'm here. Thank you.
All right. So what module did you register? Is that MM? Which one did you
Yeah,
register?
I'm gonna close out on MM today.
Oh, okay. All right. And if you've not registered on the website, please.
I'll do that right away.
Okay, awesome. All right, who is going next? We have Oluwatosi, who is going next?
Hi everyone. My name is Oluwatosin. So I'm actually a supply chain professional. So existingly now, I'm actually working with SAP, using SAP as a tool right now in my place of work. So I'm seeing how that platform works. I still feel it's being utilized. Okay, so I know that there's a lot of things around because I work in the power generations and power solutions. So we do a lot of movement, and there are still some gaps let me just say some gaps. Yeah, let me just call it gaps. So I still feel that if I can actually get more knowledge, especially the HANA, the material management part, I can actually at least, if not provide solutions, I can give pointers in the right direction with the champion. So that's what I mean. Thank you.
All right, thank you. So what module did you register for and show interest?
So MM and production, PP.
Oh, okay. Did you register on the platform?
I registered on the platform. So yeah, I registered on the platform. I filled in the form, I think.
Oh, okay. And you got an invitation by email to join this session?
Yes, I got an invitation by email.
Okay, beautiful, beautiful. All right, because of time, we'll just, we can't get everyone to introduce themselves. Yaro, can you introduce yourself?
Okay, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Wanma Yaro. I am an accountant, and I'm more in I've been an external auditor for over 10 years. So we have clients who actually use SAP as their ERPs. So I just want to have an understanding of it and to see in the future, probably to become consultants. And I registered, I'm more interested in the FICO aspect of it. Thank you.
All right, thanks. So you registered and you got an email in this session?
Yes, I did.
Okay. All right. So thank you very much. Thank you for the introduction. Because of time, we're just going to go, with the slides. For every other person, please, you can just do quick introductions in the chat box, and so that we manage the time. So I'm going to be calling up a professional here who is going to be talking more about the SAP. He's going to be telling us about SAP, the different modules, the career opportunities, and of course, he's going to answer any questions that we might have. So I'm going to be calling on stage Kingsley. Kingsley, are you on the call? Kindly, put on your video so that you can talk about SAP to everyone. Thank you.
Good day, everybody. My name is Kingsley. Unfortunately, my camera is having an issue, so kindly bear with me.
All right, that's fine.
All right. The moderator. Okay, I will just tell you when you are to move from one slide to the other. Okay. Yeah. Good day once again. My name is Kingsley. I'm a functional consultant in SAP supply chain. So I will tell you what SAP supply chain consultant means as we proceed. So from this first slide, I will start up. Please, the first slide, see the first slide, the initial slide, that is slide 1. Let me say things on that first slide. Please The host, can you take us back to the first slide? I hope you are hearing me. Okay, fine. So about SAP. I just said about SAP. Now, SAP, when we say XAP, the word SAP, please kindly mute. So when we say SAP, SAP is actually, I'm using the word SAP because some of us here, we say SAP, some of us here, we say SAP. So I will either pronounce it as SAP or SAP. Then as we progress, I will tell you the correct pronunciation or the right word to use for SAP. Now, SAP is actually a software developed in Germany. It's a German software. And when we say SAP, Germany is a non-speaking country. So when we say SAP, if you go to Germany and you say SAP, with my understanding, I know that SAP is a derogatory word. So it means you, as somebody who understands SAP, you are not supposed to pronounce SAP, or you are not supposed to say SAP, but rather the right pronunciation is XAP. So if that is the only thing that you can get from the presentation, please take note. So it's not called SAP, it's called XAP. Fine, so having said that, we'll have section for QA, that's question and answer. So please kindly mute yourself when it is time for you to ask questions, then you can do that. So exploring SAP, each module and career opportunities. So okay, that's okay. Moderator, you can take us to the next slide. So where you take us to the next slide, what is SAP? SAP, like I mean, what is SAP? SAP means or represent system application and product in data processing. Like I told you, SAP is actually a German company. It was actually invented or developed in the year 1972 by 5 former IBM workers who actually came together to develop what everybody is actually what everybody knows as SAP. And as we speak, XAP is the leading ERP. So when I mean ERP, some people say, I want to have training on SAP ERP. And I always tell individual or whoever is, ERP is enterprise resource planning. So SAP is a type of ERP. So we have other fantastic ERP globally. Microsoft have their own ERP. Oracle have their own ERP. Another large or software developer, they actually have other ERPs. But as we speak today, SAP is the leading ERP in the world. So, like I told you, we have hundreds of ERP. I don't know if some of us here have heard about Odoo. Odoo is ERP, you know. So we have other fantastic ERP. So as we stand, SAP is the leading ERP. So what does it mean for you to understand or for you to have the skill of an ERP that is leading the world? It means it is actually a good choice to make to acquire the leading ERP that rule the world. So having said that, the second, no, yeah, you can still go back. He said about 400,000 company worldwide uses SAP. In other words, the largest multinational company as we speak globally, I know Shell is a multinational company. Coca-Cola is a multinational company. Just mention the top multinational companies. Even Oracle that have their own ERP actually uses SAP. So in other words, the largest multinational company in the world, they all actually implemented, they are using ERP. So in Nigeria here, come to Nigeria, we all know that, okay, apart from Share, who is that is a multinational company, Coca-Cola as well. I know Coca-Cola and Share uses it here in Nigeria. Then Dangote also uses SAP as well. Another company that I may likely not mention here. So in other words, when you have that skill, it will be beneficial to you, not just only within Africa. That global relevance is attached to SAP professionals. So having said that, we can move to the next slide. So modules in SAP. So why modules? Modules in SAP also represent business units. You can either call it business unit or department. So let's let's explain a typical business process in Dangote and a typical business process in Coca-Cola. For instance, as far as SAP is concerned, there is what we call SAP best practice. So the business process that is, or the business process that happens in Shell is still the same business process that happened in Dangote, for instance, but we can see a little variation. But as far as SAP best practice is concerned, when we go deep into it, then we will know that there are similarity, you know, in SAP operations. So when you are knowledgeable in SAP, or when you acquire or get that skill in SAP, any domain you find yourself globally, you will actually, that relevance and that understanding, so you will be able to adapt to the system that you actually meet on ground. So having said that, module, like I said, these are departments. So module refer to departments, and in SAP we have different modules. The ones that are here, I think I have about I think I have less than 15 here, but we have other modules in SAP. So these are not the only modules in SAP. We have other that are even more than this. But again, these are the core modules in SAP. Without this, no business can function. So we'll start by function. So I will explain functional and technical. So what's the difference between functional and technical? So functional, for instance, we have MM, SD, PP, QM, PM, FI, then you can either call it finance. Some persons call it FICO. Yeah, they're all finance module, but ideally, finance and controlling is also known as management module. There are two different modules, but they are quite integrated. So I will start by explaining what materials management is all about. Materials management has to do with procuring materials. There is no company, even if you are into sales, maybe what you buy is you buy and resell, but you still need internal procurement to make your your business process flow successful. So in other words, every company has a purchasing department. So that is why we have a large workforce in sourcing and procurement. So you cannot call it materials management or sourcing and procurement. We're actually saying the same thing. It just has to do with buying, dealing with vendors. Then sales, like I said, there are companies who are into, what all they do is they import items of any magnitude. It could be goods. So now when they import, they sell. I'm just making an example of company who are into sales. So they need this module to operate sales and distribution. Now, having said that, if a company, typical company, let's say Coca-Cola, of course, we have purchasing department. Like I said, these are core modules. So company that really deploy SAP, when you deploy SAP, you can decide whatever you need. So material management, sales and distribution, PP. I will actually be fast. I will just quickly run down because of the time. And like I said, MM has to do with procurement, then sales. I mentioned Coca-Cola. Of course, Coca-Cola, they produce or manufacture. Like I said, it means there are a lot of buyings, which has to which is related to materials management. Now, when you buy raw materials to produce whatever you are producing, then you produce. But before I explain, okay, we don't have PP here. Okay, PP is there, fine. Now the core supply chain module are what? SD, and PP. These three are very, very key. So like I said, when you produce, you will sell. So that is why sales module is very critical in an organization. Then PP, like I said, Coca-Cola, when you buy your raw materials using materials management app or module, you need to sell these items out. And that is actually, okay, that is sales, but the art of producing or manufacturing all these items is what we call production planning. There's a separate module for that. So QM, what is quality management? Quality management is all about standard. Of course, whatever is produced should meet a specific standard. So quality management ensures that specification is duly or correctly followed. The PM. So what is PM? PM is also known as enterprise asset management. Like I said, I've mentioned 3 multinational company, and I said I'm also using Coca-Cola as a use case here. Yeah, in Coca-Cola, when we talk about production, there are a lot of machines that are used in productions. So these machines are maintained by plant maintenance consultants or personnel. So plant maintenance or enterprise asset management is basically maintaining every technical asset in your organization. So thereafter, they will move to finance. Finance is very key because the essence of business is actually to make profit. So, and aside that, the finance will tell you the financial status of your company. So, finance actually has to do with there are a lot in finance actually because finance integrates with most of the functional modules. Not just only functional modules. Yeah, most of the functional modules. Then, like I said, controlling, like I said, this is actually management accounting, and it's closely tied or integrated with FI. So HCM, yeah, HR. HR is actually a department in an organization that handles employee. Of course, employee data is actually very important to every organization. So that department is actually everything that has to do with hiring, promotion, leave, and retirement is handled by what? Human capital management or human resources. So having said that, I will explain technical modules. So functional module, technical module. So what's the difference? Um, with my understanding, ideally, technical module is a bit technical in the sense that there are some IT. You need to have some basic knowledge, but again, that knowledge may be optional. Optional in the sense that even if you do not have that knowledge, you can still have one of these technical modules done, but it's actually technical, you know. All right, so that's what I've just said. Like I said, for me, I am a functional consultant. Hopefully, in future, I can decide to become a technical consultant. So the guys who really do the work at the functional consult, or the guys who actually perform the day-to-day operations in SAP as a functional, functional module, day-to-day business operations are functional module related. In other words, technical module, they really do not do the day-to-day SAP business process in the SAP server. They are actually like I said, technical in the sense that if you are having, for instance, if you're having login with your access, you know, they can actually take that. And in terms of, for those who are interested in the consultant part, they're actually in charge of, specifically ABAP, the ABAP guy need to ensure that the server and all of that. So I don't want to go technical in as much as I know some of these or most of this technicality behind the technical modules. So basis is more of administrations. So every client using SAP have unique access that is assigned to them. All right, the next slide. Opportunities and prospect with SAP. Like I said before we started, I told you that the knowledge of SAP is not limited to here in Africa, but it's a global skill that is very needed. The skill is actually viable, not only in our region here. So I mentioned manufacturing, fine, oil and gas, healthcare, retail, finance. So these most of the multinational companies in the world fall within these industries. And manufacturing, they're into oil and gas, healthcare, retail, and all of that. Then career opportunity, like I said, we have different levels in SAP. We have end user, we have power user, we have consultant, and again, the SAP project manager is actually the prerequisite is for you to become a consultant. Like I always tell uh, people, a consultant is a consultant. But again, when I mean a consultant is a consultant, a sourcing and a materials management consultant is a consultant. And some will tell me I want to have knowledge in supply chain. Yeah, it's possible, but in SAP, one module sometimes like a department in the school. And SAP keep reviewing materials. In other words, that is why if you understand anything about SAP, you observe that if you tend to take the global certification, you will notice an exam code that you see today, you may not see it there in another 3-6 months. They have taken it off. So what am I saying? A module in the consultant is very broad. In as much as SAP is integrated, SAP is actually a centralized system and is very, very integrated. Integrated in the sense that all the data are actually stored in a particular database. So that is why reporting is very, very easy in SAP. So in as much as you want to have knowledge, you want to know how finance is integrated with controlling, you want to know how finance is integrated with materials management, the advice is know a particular module first. So you actually start from there. You understand? So one module at a time. So growing demand, yeah. Like I said, if the largest multinational companies in the world, if they are using SAP, so why would the demand, why will there be a decrease in demand? Or there will not be a decrease in demand, because as employees are retiring, they need more staff. Companies grow in size, so as they have more subsidiaries, they need more employees. So professional in SAP actually are of high demand. So you can move to the next screen. And again, SAP is a very high, the pay that is SAP has, it's like a white collar job. In the developed world, though the pay in SAP varies from country to country, but in the developed world, the salary of SAP consultants are a bit close. It's only here in Africa where they contract SAP job, but SAP is a very, the pay in SAP is actually high. Okay, now ECC. So SAP ECC. So what is ECC? ECC is just like the platform. It's like SAP version. So I would say enterprise asset management. So we are saying from 1972, when they invented that software, when that software was developed, their SAP has been undergoing series of improvement on their software. So that is why one of the reasons why SAP is the most widely used ERP in the world is because of the innovative nature of that company. They keep improving on everything that relates to them. So having said that, SAP, so ECC, like I said, this is actually the software that you actually, I've talked about modules. So without the software, you can't do anything. So ECC just like the software that you run those modules that we mention and move on. So use of, okay, database, I don't want to go that technical, so we might go to the next slide. Okay, now the previous one is ECC. This is also similar to the, like I told you, SAP keeps improving on when I mean everything that relates to that, means the software, the academic material, their consulting companies, they keep improving. So the ECC, like I mentioned, is actually what has been on ground now, and is it tenable, is it applicable to SAP company now? But just the SAP is saying that, okay, in the next 5 years, want S1 to come, but so S1 is actually another a higher SAP software. So the next slide. Yeah, like I mentioned, we have, if you want to have your system run on ECC, then these are the specifications. The first details is what you need. You need you need HP and Dell. And if you want to, like I said, the EHP has 2 versions. So the first version, 4 gig RAM can run on it. The storage can be 200, and that will actually work for that. Then the other one, the higher EHP, you need a minimum space of 400 gig. Then the RAM, because the higher the version on EHP, the more or the higher system specification you need to run this. So you can check this out. For S4HANA, there is no offline S4HANA globally. You subscribe online. These are highly paid for, and so the subscription is $150 per month. So that is what I have on system requirements. Certification, yeah. The certification, for those who already have knowledge in certification or who already have knowledge in SAP, you might need to either go through brush up or register for the global certification. And again, the global certification is quite expensive. So Seedbuilder we take care of that. So certifications, types of certification. Certification, when you register for the certification, you decide on the particular, we have different SAP code, different modules, different levels. So when you register, then you decide that. So types of certification, we'll be talking about is valid or is ideal to talk about type of certification after you've registered for the global certification. All right. So question and answer.
Yes, so if you have any questions, about the modules which he has covered, about some of the technicalities as well, please, the floor is open. I think there was a question here. There's a question here. You said the global certification is expensive. Which one can one write that is affordable? It's the same price, but yeah, just shed a little light on that, Kingsley.
Yeah. As just as the host said, is the same cost. So when you register for the voucher, then you can decide on the module to take. Is the same cost.
Right.
And again, the changes on the certification is actually unlike before where you have a single registration in STB. Now there is no single registration. If you can actually take four, it's only 4 exams that is available on SAP platform. So you can decide to either use one and jettison the other 3, or you make use of it.
Okay, thank you. Do we have other questions? Please, let's ask questions. That is why we have this session. You can just, raise up your hand or just talk freely to ask any questions about what we have discussed so far about the course. Do we have any other questions? Please, let's ask questions. Like Kingsley mentioned, this is the number one ERP at the moment. And of course, when it comes to upskilling, you need to make sure that you are getting the latest knowledge, because when you get the latest knowledge, then you are ahead of the pack. So it's important that, we leverage this opportunity with SAP. All right, what are the steps to be taken to becoming a consultant? How does a consultant set up a client? And finally, a subscription per module. Okay, so I'll just handle some part of that. What we are training is for consultants. That's our own training that we are doing here with Seedbuilders. We are not doing the end user. We want to make sure that we train to the consultant level. So that is what we train here. But you asked another question, how does a consultant set up a client? And finally, Kingsley, I don't know if you are seeing that, but that's part of the class. They're already asking class questions at this time. Kingsley, are you seeing the chat box?
Yeah, just like you said, that's the consultant training. So when you register, you get to know more about that.
Okay. So you said subscription per module. I didn't really get that question. You said it's subscription per module. So like he mentioned, you have to focus on one module. So if you are in materials management, focus on that module. That is what you are there for. So typically we say yes, and we are also training per module. That's what we're training. We're training per module. SB asks, how much is the global certification? So that is different from the training we're doing at the moment. The cost, of course, usually changes. As for the last time, SAP is a very expensive course. As at the last time, the voucher was about $1,600 or whatever, but I'm going to confirm that. So it's a very expensive course, right? So if you need a global certification, that is the amount for the voucher. That is the amount for the voucher, over $1,600 which is paid directly to SAP. But of course, we give, if once you do this course with us, we still give you our own certification. But of course, if you need a global certification, you have to go through that route. And of course, when you join the class, we'll give you more information about it. Okay, so there's a question here. How do you become a SAP project manager? Kingsley, can we answer that? How do you become SAP project manager?
Yeah, like I told you, SAP is very robust, and there is a module called project system in SAP. So when you become a consultant in that module, then you become a project manager. So take a project system module to become a project manager. I hope that answers your question.
Okay. All right. I'm sure that SB got the information. So do we still have any questions? Do we still have any questions? If anybody wants to talk, we just have a few minutes more before we call the session over. Do you have any questions? Already some people who are on the call have already made their payments. The classes are starting on the 31st. That's when we're taking the names of people that have registered. So some people already made payments already, or some people on the call that have not made payments. So it's important you went to the website. All the information about the different modules are there. Do we have any other questions? Do we have any other questions? Okay, do we have any other question? Okay, so I think, can you unmute, please? SB, unmute yourself so you can ask the question so we don't go on about the same question, please. The floor is open to you, SB. Can you hear me? Can you unmute and ask the question rather than sending the chat box?
Okay, good evening.
Good evening.
Wanted to make a clarification what he said concerning the SAP project management. Project manager said something like doc system or project system. So I didn't get that.
Yeah, okay. I said there is a project system module in SAP, just like the way we have other modules that we listed above, like materials management, finance, controlling, plant maintenance, warehouse management. We also have a module called project system module in SAP. I hope that is clear. Hello?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, it's clear.
All right.
All right. So that's fine. Because of time. Like I mentioned, we are kicking off 31st of March, 2025. That's when we're kicking off. Again, the level we're training on is consultant level. Our sessions are weekends because most of the people who usually do this training with us are busy individuals. So it's weekend sessions, which is Saturday and Sunday, 5 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. But for the Sunday, we might be a bit flexible to do a 3 p.m. For Sundays, but Saturday is 5 p.m. Duration is going to go for about 6 weeks, and it is instructor-led, done virtually. And once you sign up, you would also, join the WhatsApp group for engagement. It's very important for you to be able to ask questions and reach out. Some people already said, they would travel at a point and all of that, and that's why the WhatsApp group is important so that you can tell your facilitator that, oh, I'm not around this period and all of that, and for proper engagement. The account details is on the screen. You can screen grab this. Again, on the website, which I know most of you have gone through, the cost of the program, the cost of the program, which is on our website. This is the account details if you don't have the details, because I'm sure it's not on the website, and that's what I'm giving you on this call. At the moment, we're running 40% discount at the moment. On the 30th, it's going to drop to 30%, right? And of course, when it gets, on the 25th, it's 30%. And 30th, you are going to pay the full amount, which is important. For the training, there are two types of training we offer. We offer an individual training. So it might be someone who is very busy and says, and they want that dedication. So we just train that person without anybody. Of course, that one is much more expensive. It's much more expensive if you want a personalized training. But we have another leg of training, which is a group of 3 to 5. So that means if you don't, join a group of 3 or 5 at this moment, you cannot be part of the training. So you need to join the one, which is much more expensive. The group one is cheaper. That's where you can have these discounts which I've mentioned. So you are in a group of 3 people and you're learning the same module at the same time. So this is the structure of the training. The account details are there. You can pen it down so that you can take advantage of discounts we're offering now, because once these dates you see here come, 25th, it is going to be 30% discount. And when it's 30th, you definitely have to pay the full. So let us know whether you want for the individual or for the group of 3 to 5 persons. This is our contact details. These are contact details. Once you make your payment, you send a proof to the WhatsApp number, which is there, 081757580. 9Mobile has really been so bad. So sometimes calls don't even come in. So a lot of our students have been saying, oh, they've tried to reach us and they can't reach us because of 9Mobile. Please, can the person who is speaking be on mute so they can reach us? At the moment, they can't reach us, but the WhatsApp still works, and sometimes it works. So, but once you make your payment, send the evidence to that number. Again, if it's a call, you call us on 0901-148-5925. That is the number to reach us. Again, you can reach us via email through hello@seedbuildersng.com. Those are the ways that you can reach us. Those are the ways you can reach us. Do we still have any questions that we want to ask as this session is coming to a close? Do we have any questions before we close up the meeting? Okay. Do you have any questions? Any questions in the chat box? Any questions about the program? Well, let me just add some to what you mentioned about the EC. Basically, that is the offline. That is the offline version where we get to install it on your laptop. And like I mentioned, it's more compatible with HP and Dell. There's a payment for us to help you to download it on your system, right? So payment for that, which we download that for you on the system. But the S/4HANA, as you can see, is cloud-based. It's cloud-based. That means you work cloud with it. S/4HANA. SB, can you be on mute, please? I don't know who is speaking on the call. Okay, so I think that's the end of the session. If you have any questions, please, those are our, okay, beautiful. Sorry, it's not you. I think it's Emanuela. Can you please be on mute? So please, if you have any questions, this is how to contact us. It's important that we take advantage of the discounts which are going on at the moment. It's important that we take the advantage of discount which is going on at the moment. So this is how you can contact us on WhatsApp, on phone call, or through emails. This is how you can contact us. For you to get more information about your own particular module, visit www.seedbuildersng.com. That's where you see a particular module. Look at it. Look at all the information of how to get the offline version, how to get the S4HANA, and how to pay for training. So please make sure that you have a look at that. So this is where I'll be drawing the curtain for this session. We don't really work on African time. We said 3 to 4, and this is 4, so we're quite efficient. And that is how your program and your training is also going to be. Straight, time. We tell you this is your time. You come in, you learn, and you get the value. Of course, after the 6 weeks, definitely we're going to be seeing high productivity and of course income for you. So let's have an amazing afternoon. Let's have an amazing weekend, and of course, I'll see you guys after class. Have a wonderful afternoon. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Bye.